welcome to the Living in the Zone podcast. I'm your host, Jim Fannin. I've got my co-host, Ryan Lidge, also an executive coach for ZoneCoach Consulting. And we got Caleb Clayton, also an executive coach. Guys, welcome to the show this morning.
Jim, what's going on? Yeah, thanks for having us.
It's a big week. You know, normally this week I'm in Augusta, Georgia. I've been there 35 times eating a lot of pimento cheese sandwiches. But
What's your record?
I had 20 one day, and it's a little embarrassing, but they're a little tiny. They're like finger.
Little bites,
Yeah, I did. I had 20. I was going for 2 dozen, and I couldn't do it. But I've had a pimento cheese sandwich at the Masters. I did it for 35 years. I didn't try the egg salad. Everybody go, you got to mix it up. I go, I can't help it. I need that pimento cheese. You get fixated on something. What is a master? A master is a really rare individual, a master. This person's an expert at their craft, an expert at putting the ball into 18 cups with the least amount of swings, regardless of where I am on the planet. You're an expert. And a master's honed this expertise over a long amount of time, but I just can't call everybody a master. I mean, whoever wins the Masters this week, you won the Masters, but am I going to call you a master? I'm probably not. There's been a lot of one-hit wonders that put on the green jacket, and I applaud them. It's been awesome. I wanted one for my players as well. But a master is all-encompassing. You got to think of someone like Jimi Hendrix. That's a master. Can you imagine Jimmy concerned, worried? Oh, I'm going on stage. What do I play? How do I do the chords? No. He owned the chords, and then, of course, the greatest guitarist followed and learned from him, but he was a master. I saw Clapton once in a venue of only 250 people, and I was blown away.
That'd be awesome.
And he was playing Stairway to Heaven. I'm like, I'm in heaven. I couldn't believe it. But what made me in awe of him, it was seamless. And he was playing with his mind and his heart, not his fingers. And you could feel the passion that ran through his fingers to make this incredible music. And I was in awe the whole time. So I've seen a lot of masters. I've been around a lot of masters, but let's take a deep dive. What is a master? First of all, they're extremely self-disciplined. A Jack Nicklaus, extremely disciplined. Every master has a blueprint of where they want to go and how they want to get there. Even going to the Masters this week for players, everybody knows how they want to play the course, how they'd like to play it. But the Masters done it a little bit differently. It's really broken everything down, maybe for a month to get ready for the Masters, visualizing where they're going to be on the course, having that map of where the ball's going to go. You can get caught up in every hole because every hole is a landmine. There's only maybe one or two that are like, okay, I got a birdie opportunity here. But even the first hole at the Masters is that drive up the hill, then you're going to hit a 9-iron on the hood of a wax Buick. And it's like, whoa, welcome to the Masters. You don't hit the ball perfectly, you're in trouble. So a master is self-disciplined. What does that mean? They made a commitment to their art. They made a commitment to their craft. And this is anybody in sales. Are you an expert salesperson? Are you an expert in your golf game? Are you an expert? And if you hone that expertise over a long period of time, which now helps you become the master. The master has hit a high standard, a disciplined standard over 20, 30, 40, 50 years. I remember seeing the great singer Tony Bennett. I was so blessed to be at his 90th birthday party in San Francisco. And they brought him out, and I'd known Tony for decades. He loved tennis, and that's how I met him, decades before 90. But when I looked at him, I thought, wow, that is a master. And I have a brief conversation about how he maintained that standard. And he confessed he didn't always hit it. He said, I had a lot of lows. Obviously, I wanted to cover those up. But the master can navigate the highs and lows with that discipline. And at the end of the show, I'm going to reveal another reason why they actually have done it, the master. The second thing is concentration. The master is so present, can't be dislodged out of the present. And I'm at the Memorial Tournament, not a master tournament, but a big event. Jack Nicklaus is paired with one of my clients. This is a long time ago, guys, maybe before you were born. Back, I think it was 1980. Anyway, Nicklaus butchered 2 irons. I mean, almost shanked him. And I was like, wow. And he was not happy about it. Okay, 2 irons. What's the big deal? After the round, Cook wanted to go hit a few balls, kind of unwind a little bit, really. And there's nobody on the range because everybody was out on the course at that time. And so we're by ourselves, nobody near us. And here comes Nicklaus over the hill with a 2-iron. That's all he had was a 2-iron. And he could have gone at the far end. He came right next to us. Now, I've been walking with Jack for 5 hours. Hey. Nothing. Crickets. He didn't look at me. He didn't look at John Cook. He came down, put one ball down, and he pures a 2-iron. He pures it. And then he walked away. And I'm like, what? It's like eating one Cheeto. You got to have 2 or a Pringle.
You got to have
more.
You can't only have one. Isn't that the slogan?
Who can hit a pure
but you can't
shot
just eat one.
And walk away instead of like, I got to hit one more.
I
got to validate it. You're eventually going to stay out there until you hit another bad shot. And I thought that was the epitome of concentration. It's also the epitome of optimism. He hits it pure, and now he knows. Everybody expects and believes, but it's only the master that knows. He's validated himself. He's been validated by all those moments of truth where he's just executed the basics. The other thing I've understood about a master, they're calm and cool. They are calm in a crisis. They're calm. I can see a master in an airplane tragedy, calm, cool, going up to the cockpit, landing the plane and go, do you know how to fly a plane? No, first time I ever did it. And a master's got that kind of ice water, they can do it. Why? Because they know the secret power that we all have. We all have this power, but the master's harnessed it. And that's the power that nothing, no circumstance, no condition, no situation is going to elevate my breathing. So when the master gets into a master performance, you never see them sweat. They're calm and cool. Their jaw's unhinged, their tongue is floating, and they're just riffing if they're on stage and music, and they're just playing. And they look like they're not trying. That always has blown me away, where everybody else is forcing the action. And then the last thing I realized about a master, and I've been blessed to work with some master baseball hitters, master pitchers, master golfers over a long period of time. They have the highest level of enjoyment. They love their own music. They love the beats. They love the rhythm. They love the challenge. And that's something most of us don't love. Everybody loves playing well. But do you love digging yourself out of a hole to play well? Do you love coming back? Haven't led the whole game. Maybe a second at 8-6 at the very beginning. And all of a sudden, your passion just percolates, comes bubbling to the surface. And then the last few seconds, you win the game. I think we have a team like that,
we do.
A national champion. So who is a master? Fred Astaire would be a master, Picasso. I coached a young artist named Romero Brito, unbelievable South Beach artist, vibrant colors. But the master was Picasso, and that's who he looked up to, and that's who he really took his style, a cubism type style. The master. So we have the masters, and this past weekend we've had some master performances. So guys,
absolutely.
Let's talk about right now, who's in the zone?
All right. Who's in the zone?
Who's in the zone for you?
For me, Jim and Caleb, the Boston Red Sox are in the zone for me. Last week was the Yankees, so now I'm going Boston. But they didn't start off the season as strong as they'd hoped, especially offensively, with some individuals, Rafael Devers, Tristan Casas. Bregman was hitting well, but really not to the standard, and you know they didn't come out of opening weekend with a positive record.
Well, they played in Mexico. They opened up in Mexico.
So they've had some challenges, but then they go to Baltimore and they lose game 1 in Baltimore. And Baltimore is a favorite in the AL East this year. I'm high on them as well. But then they take the last 2 games in Baltimore and then sweep the Red Sox the Red Sox sweep the Cardinals in Fenway. But they didn't just sweep them. They demolished them on the last day. 18 runs. Devers 4 for 4. And everyone's talking about Rafael Devers not being the guy he used to be because he's DHing. Bregman's got to play third. Bregman's a Gold Glover. Devers 0 for 20 with 16 strikeouts. Worst ever in MLB history. Totally rewrote the script, rewired himself, got back to Fenway, said, I'm home, was definitely in the zone, a 4 for 4 performance, 18 runs. I think Bregman leads the league in hits or RBIs.
He's player of the week.
Player of the week. So the Red Sox are definitely in the zone. When they have all of their hitters excelling with a high score level, when they have all their pitchers excelling with a high score level, this may be the best team in baseball. So I don't think this will be the first time we talk about the Red Sox.
Well,
and Alex Cora, the manager,
I'm going to say, you got to look at the leadership of a team that turns something around. It's masterful what Cora did early. He had a serious possible conflict with Devers not playing third, DH. What I do with a Gold Glover on third? Oh, you're going to move him to second? That makes no sense. So it was a tough decision. He made it, stood by it, and then calmed the waters. It was a masterful turnaround because that season, it's a long season, but it's easy to get off to a bad start.
If you get off to a bad start in a season as long as baseball, you can definitely hurt yourself. So proud of the Red Sox getting back, and we're huge fans of Alex Cora on the show.
So who do you have?
Jim, this individual, they might be in that category of a master. We have to give it credit, Mr. Alex Ovechkin, 895th career goal, tying Wayne Gretzky, obviously that 31-year goal record that stood, and Ovechkin breaks it. And this is his 20th year in the league, and that's someone who has honed his craft over a long period of time. And one definition of greatness that I love that you use, because we hear that word thrown around on ESPN every morning on the top 10, that's a great player. That was great. Yeah. This is a great moment. But I know that you've always said that you define greatness as hitting a high standard over a long, long, long period of time and just committing to the basics while doing that.
And a master also has strengths, and they may have some areas of growth that their strengths are so strong you can't get to their what you might call a weakness. And I don't think Ovechkin has a weakness, quite frankly.
No.
But you know what he's done? He has a spot on the ice.
So that left face-off circle,
it's
looking at the
Ovechkin
right
oval, or whatever they want to call it. He has hit that slap shot over and over. Mentally, physically, he's honed that craft.
Yes.
The majority of his goals in breaking Gretzky are from that one spot.
Absolutely.
I think it's on the left side, right?
On the left side, looking at the goal, left side, the top of that face-off circle.
And his slap shot is a rocket. Yeah. It's a bullet, and as soon as he gets into that crease, the goal kick, he's just like, holy crap. And all eyes are on him. But it happens quick before the defense gets gets settled.
Well, it takes a master to beat the great one and lead goals in him. Now, no one may hit his points total.
Yeah,
but
I think that's a whole nother story there with the assist that Gretzky had. That record will probably stand forever. I don't think anybody's touching the point
that's
record
the great
there.
one. And I think he'll have that for a long time, maybe forever.
I agree.
Yeah, the great one, I think he had a comment when he was there that it was kind of hard to believe. He said, I felt like I was back playing again.
You know, the coolest part about Gretzky with this, before we get into who you've got in the zone, Jim, is when Gretzky scored the original goal to beat Gordie Howe's record 31 years ago. Gordie Howe was there, and he was so happy for Wayne, for the great one. And so Gretzky's dad said to him, when somebody eventually breaks your record, you better be as happy for them as Gordie was for you.
Wow.
And you
That's
saw
powerful.
Gretzky smiling the whole time.
he
And,
was.
you know, records are meant to be broken. Why keep records then? Some records are tougher than others, and records are definitely zone moments. But that's a big zone moment for Wayne Gretzky, for anyone, even when Mark McGuire beat Roger Maris's home run record. The Maris family was there for him, cheering him on, even though it's difficult sometimes to let go of that. So I just want to make sure I pointed that out.
Well,
that
that's
Wayne
great.
Gretzky,
That's great
all class.
parenting and parents in the zone. I mean,
Absolutely
I
it
think
is.
we can have a show on my feelings about what us as parents are doing to our kids right now. But that's great parenting. I got to give a shout out to a master, and that would be Geno Auriemma. When you see someone that has won not one, not two, not three, and this is not for, and let's say, what time's the show over? 12 national titles. But what blows me away, he's won a 12th title in this new era, which is the most difficult for all coaches.
NIL is what you're talking about.
I'm talking about
Transfer.
name, image, likeness, paying pro athletes. These aren't
That's what
amateurs
it is,
anymore.
yeah.
This ain't your amateur NCAA. This is a professional league. Eventually may go to salary. But the portal where you can have a national championship team and 4 guys are
Next year,
picked
everybody's
off.
gone.
They're picked off by, a Big 12 or SEC, whatever it is. And the next year, you got nobody. And Connecticut has had their players picked off. It's tough to repeat. Geno, you're in the zone.
What's one thing, Jim, that you can tell everyone at home that really makes Geno a master? Which one of those markers do you think he just excels at better than anyone in women's basketball history?
Self-discipline. I think Geno has a system. Paige Becker mentioned it, that on Monday we do this. On Tuesday we do that. On Wednesday we do that. There is a process. No different than the score system. Our system is a process.
Yeah.
Here's what you do in the morning. Here's what you do before an event. Here's the adjustment you make, and here's the tool you use. Here's how you evaluate. We have a system, a 50-year-old system, that's helped masters become masters. But Geno has a system on how he wants to run his team. And then it's not just discipline and focus, because a lot of people can have that, but he's got love and compassion, and he pushes them, and they want him to push them, and he does unmercifully.
He loves his
And
players,
then hug
though.
He
Yeah.
does.
absolutely,
And when he told
genuinely.
Paige Becker, I love you, because he shared with us to the world what he said, wow, it made me cry. I've spent a lot of time, and he spent a lot of time with Paige. She went through hell, guys. Let's talk about it. She had a national title on her fingertips. She didn't win it. Another player, Caitlin Clark, is getting all the air and oxygen in the room. She's going through an injury, couldn't play.
Yep.
So she went through her own little hell to get to a national
To get to
title,
that
and
title.
she's deserved it. But Geno,
Absolutely.
I'm going to have to give it up. You're a master.
Now, on the other side of the coin, we love the great performances, but obviously not everybody can be in the zone every weekend. Even great teams can fall out of that zone state. So, Ron, you want to start us off?
Yeah,
Who's not
who's-
in the zone for you this weekend?
Who's not in the zone? This one's really fun.
Well, I want to say one thing first of all. Who's not in the zone? Now, the zone for non-zoniacs that are watching, a zone is a purposeful, calm feeling that a player can almost put on like an overcoat. And it's a feeling that nothing can go wrong. And your eyes double, triple shutter speed, slows down the game. Intuition takes over. So being in the zone is that ultimate. But not being in the zone, that's terrifying. You can panic. You can be grabbing your throat. It's where chokes originate and where they end.
Well, talking about
who's not in the zone?
So I would say 99% of people listening right now and watching do not know about this. But in NAIA baseball is a beautiful game played at many, many levels from the major leagues to Little League. NAIA, a lower collegiate level, you've got 2 schools competing today. So by the time this airs, this will have been completed. Yeshiva versus Lehman. 2 schools. Yeshiva's got a 99-game losing streak.
Holy cow! Where is this? Where is
New
this
Jersey.
School?
New Jersey. I believe.
Both teams?
I believe. And you can fact check me in the comments if you want. But Yeshiva, 99-game losing streak. This will be 100 if they lose
99.
it. But why this is so amazing is they play Lehman, who has a 42-game losing streak. The 2 longest losing streaks in college baseball, period, play this Tuesday, today, when this airs. So people are reportedly showing up in droves, and the crazy part is Lehman has a 17-0 record against Yeshiva.
Oh, my goodness.
So money's on Lehman, but both these teams have not won a game.
Is this going to be big betting on this?
I don't know.
This might be big
I
betting.
might be moving along.
But Yeshiva hasn't won since February 27th of 2022. Lehman hasn't won since May 9th of 2023. There are players, juniors and possibly seniors on these teams
And never won.
have never won a game.
Oh, my goodness.
So this game is huge. Both these programs have not been in the zone. But let's turn this around. Someone's going to be in the zone
Somebody's
today.
gonna be in the zone.
So that's my who's not in the
Somebody has
zone.
to be in
And
the zone
please let
today.
us know what happened. We need to know. So go in the comments.
need
Let
to
us
see
know
that
who
update.
won Yeshiva versus Lehman. And maybe we can help those 2 schools out be in the zone more consistently with scores.
I think South Carolina women's basketball not in the zone. They got thumped by
UConn
Connecticut
did, yeah.
early this year, beat by maybe 25, 30
20
points.
plus, yeah.
20-plus points. So, when you get beat that badly, and now you're in the championship game, and there is a pedigree with South Carolina. I mean,
Absolutely.
come on, they're national champion pedigree. I don't believe they were ready for the onslaught of the energy of Connecticut right off the bat, because Connecticut came out, punched them right in the face, and then finished like that. And what was the ending score? It was
They won by
over.
20 or 30.
Again, it was a 20-point game, like in the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
How tough is that as a coach to help your team get ready after being thumped by 20-some points, and now we're playing them again under the biggest lights in the biggest crowd, the biggest moment of your life.
Definitely some seeds of doubt.
Champions win first, then walk into the arena. Everybody else walks into the arena and then tries to figure out what to do. I believe Geno is the master. His team was prepared, but I also believe Geno had his team prepared to quickly adjust. He didn't know how they were going to come out. He felt they were going to come out tough. Why wouldn't they?
Exactly.
Don Saley's a great coach.
Absolutely.
And I was surprised that it wasn't that formidable of a contest. So
over
South
quick.
Carolina, you've got a great program. You've got a great coach. You're going to be great next year, but you got beat by Master.
My team, this is going to be a team who's not in the zone, because we know individuals can get in that zone state, but collective teams too, entire basketball teams, baseball teams, companies can also enter
So
into that
one
collective
person
zone
that's
state.
not relaxed, one person that's upset, one rotten apple can spoil the whole barrel.
Absolutely.
So just one or two people can change the score level or mindset or
Of that
attitude
team.
of a team. Who would
Absolutely.
that be?
And this team, this is quote-unquote a great team. This has been the highest-rated team on KenPom since 1999. That's the Duke Blue Devils of 2024-2025.
Wow.
I need to stop right now because every time that someone says Duke Blue Devils, I get a friggin' flashback of Christian Leitner. I'm at that game. I'm at the game, and he takes it at the top. I can still see it right now. No, boom. Anyway, I'm sorry. Every time I hear Duke, I actually get a little rash.
You got a Wildcat at heart, Jim.
Yeah, I can't help it. Anyway, I'm sorry.
But,
go ahead.
Yeah, the Duke Blue Devils in that second half, not in the zone. From the 10:31 mark in the second half, Duke had one field goal the rest of the game. They were up 14 in that game with, again, the AP Player of the Year, Cooper Flagg, highest-rated KenPom team since 1999, and you don't find a way to close that game out. You could see their relaxation.
And he had a good look at the end.
Cooper did.
He had a clean look, but that's the fourth game-winning shot he's missed this year. Mm-hmm. The fourth, not the first, not the second. Obviously, he's going to have an all-pro career, and he's going to be a master, but he's going to replay that shot.
He's going to think about that one a little bit.
Forever.
Yes.
Because he's going to be reminded of it.
Yeah.
I mean, every time there's a Duke game at Duke, somehow Leitner's flash up on the Jumbotron, and that just sends me into a crazy frenzy.
It does, but just the entire relaxation of the team, Duke got tight. There's no other way to put it, because that was one thing they talked about. Duke hadn't really been tested in close game victories. They've been blowing people out. But when it got tight with Houston, and that is a relentless team, hats off to Kelvin Sampson. They're a great team, but Duke, I mean, they got tight. Turnovers stretched, missed front ends on one and one.
They were picking them up full court, or three quarters, and that was that must. I don't know what they're ranked in the country. Houston's defense has got to be top.
I believe they're number one.
I think they are number one.
So Houston's ability to play defense affected Duke's relaxation levels negatively. And Houston caused them to not be in the zone from your
Yes, they got tight extremely, and they could just tell. The entire team, the relaxation, they were looking at what to do. They didn't have a game plan. You can see one basket over the last 10 minutes. You're not going to win most ball games.
So not necessarily Duke not being in the zone. Houston influencing
their
them
energy.
To not be in the zone. That's and Houston obviously played a great game.
And to be in the zone, you need self-discipline, which produces cortisol. You need concentration, which puts a little glycogen, lets me narrow my focus. To be in the zone, you need a high level of optimism, which not just belief, but expectancy and knowing. Little endorphins, kind of a feel-good chemical. But you also need relaxation. I love that. And you need enjoyment. So let's find out where you are right now, because our next segment is really one of my favorites, the ZoneCafé.
All right,
let's get into it.
Getting hungry.
I want you to use your imagination, Zoniacs. You're in your car on the road of life, and you're driving up to a cafe, and I'm at the window, and Caleb and Ryan, they're back there cooking up. We got 5 things. You can only order one. You can come back around the block and order something else. This is your missing link. You're going to ascertain your missing link that's going to get you into a zone state for today, the week, or the month. Drive up now, and you're at the window. And we're cooking up a slab of self-discipline. You take this order, take it in your car, you're going to be purposeful, you're going to be committed, you're going to have a plan, you're going to know exactly where you're going and how you're going to get there. If you would like that, take that self-discipline and drive away. But maybe you are disciplined, but maybe you lack some focus. Maybe you're sometimes locked in, sometimes not, sometimes in the future, sometimes in the past. We're cooking up a big bunch of concentration. You want that? You want your focus to be better? Take it in your car, drive away on the road of life. But maybe you are disciplined. Maybe you can focus. Maybe you have a seed of doubt. Maybe you're not sure. Maybe you're second guessing yourself. You need a big bag of optimism. And that's more than belief. We got some belief in there, but we got some expectancy. And on the top, we got a whole bunch of knowing that you can do it. You need that confidence, that belief and expectancy, take it in your car, drive away. But maybe you've got all three of those. But maybe you got a little anxiety. Maybe you get a little frustrated. Maybe you catch yourself holding your throat, get a little tight, chewing that little piece of skin on the inside of your mouth, grinding your teeth, maybe your jaw's sore. You need some relaxation. We got a cool drink of relaxation. Come on, put that in your car, take a sip, and your breathing's going to go under 10 breaths. Jaw's going to unhinge. If you need to be calm and cool, you need relaxation, put it in your car, drive away. You can come back and get something else. But maybe you've got all those things, but you might need the happy meal, enjoyment. At 75 years old, there's one thing I can tell everybody. I love my life. Is it perfect? Oh my God, I'm the most imperfect human on the planet. But you got to enjoy the journey. You got to enjoy the challenges. You got to dance a little bit every day. You got to laugh every day. If you need some enjoyment, a little pep in your step, little dopamine, little adrenaline, get you going, get you fired up, take some enjoyment, the happy meal, and come back. Now, you can go to the Zone Cafe anytime, but I'm asking you right now, what do you need to be in a zone state? What is your missing link in the score system? This system is proprietary, federally registered in 1979, all the way out to 2035. And we've been selling out the back door. I've been selling out the trunk of my car for a half a century to the rich and famous.
A nice car.
A very nice car. It's a Bentley, but what can I tell you? I have a nice car. I grew up with a really horrible car in Kentucky. But you know what? When you are aware and you've got your finger on the pulse of your attitude and you can really know that I need relaxation, immediately you'll feel relaxed. Just the awareness of knowing what the weak link is in your life, just like that, is going to change it. Mm-hmm. Welcome to the Zone Cafe. Don't forget, you can come back anytime you want and you can order something else. So take what you've ordered, apply it, and help you be your genuine, authentic best self. Now, this is to top executive coaches at Zone Coach Consulting. This is for you, Ryan. This is for you, Caleb. You're taking 15-minute consults every day, and they're coming in from all over the world, and they're coming in from different. I think you're coaching a songwriter.
Yeah.
You're coaching a businessman.
Yeah.
You're coaching a golfer. You're coaching a baseball player. I'm coaching a break dancer. I never thought I'd be doing that. I'm having a lot of fun doing that. What are people coming in with? What are they walking in with in terms of what is low in their score level? Do they need more discipline right off the bat? Do they need concentration? Do they need optimism, relaxation? What do they need? What's a common denominator that you've seen, Caleb?
One thing that I would say is optimism. I've been having a lot of conversations during these consultations, asking individuals, and this is a great analogy we use in all of our speeches. You've done a lot with different teams. We do it, Ryan. But asking them, so tell me, if I had a printout of your thoughts today, and listeners, whatever your vocation is, an athlete, a business executive, a mother, just a son, if I had a printout of all your thoughts, would you share those with team members, with your family, with friends?
I mean, some of you might be arrested. I mean,
you don't want to share that?
Well, we think those thoughts are alone and that no one can pick them up.
Yes, but regardless of their vocations, if I ask that individual, think about what you've thought about today. If you want to be an MLB All-Star, if your vision here is a PGA Tour, do the thoughts that you're having on a daily basis reflect that? So if I took a printout and had two people, I don't know who it is, just a printout of person A, person B, just by looking at that, we could see who's going to be the successful individual in their respective niche.
And that's funny because that's the same exact marker that I was going to use is optimism, especially today's climate with the world where it's going, everyone in America getting a little stressed out. they're losing confidence. They're losing that relaxation, but it's really that confidence. And the things that I tell the consultations that I'm having, it's really more so if your best friend talked to you the way that you talk to yourself with your inner dialogue, would you still want to be friends with that person?
No.
Probably not. I probably would want to live very far away from that person. But we do that to ourselves. We're mean to ourselves so that other people won't be mean to us.
Well, that is the number one in our research in 1974. The number one defense mechanism of little kids is be mean to yourself so your mom and dad won't be mean to you. And then your mom and dad go, it's okay, Jimmy. You'll be all right. Don't cry about spilt milk. Yeah. And that's all I wanted. I just wanted a hug anyway. So by being mean to me, I'll get more hugs.
But for those back home, if you also feel, just like Caleb and myself are saying, low optimism, you got to be very aware of what are you visualizing in your mind? What are you thinking about? Because you're most likely either thinking about the past, something bad that happened, or you're thinking about a negative future that hasn't even happened. You're actually using your imagination to create a future it's made up, completely made up. So a lot of us are doing that right now and losing our confidence, losing faith, losing that trust that everything's going to be okay no matter what. And we know here, based on our system and the research that you did, Jim, that if you don't have optimism, you cannot be in the zone.
Yeah,
so
that's optimism is the glue that pretty much holds everything together. It's your real belief system. I got to tell you a secret. So there was no gambling, like online gambling like it is today. This is back in the late 1970s. And I'm traveling the world. I've got about 8 guys on the pro tour, ATP tour. So I'm traveling around the world. You know, we're like gypsies going from city to city. So I know everybody, and that doesn't mean I like you. I'm trying to take your money. You're trying to take my money. I got it. I'm on a commission. And so we're friendly, but I'm not your buddy. I'm not going out to dinner with you. So I go into the locker room at Wembley Stadium in England, and across the street you could go bet on the tournament. And I'm like, huh. I can bet on it. Okay. So I'm inside the locker room, and I go up to a guy, and I go, and I know that he had a little injury from his last event, and I know who he's playing. I know the odds in that match. And I went up, and I go, hey, man, how you doing? How's your ankle? You know, I'm having a hard time moving, you know. So he's giving me the lowdown, the skinny, and I'm like, oh, I understand. I'm like, holy crap. I run across the street. I make my bet. Then there's another guy in the corner. He's got his bags packed. His bags are packed. His suitcase. The match hadn't started
already
yet.
checked out.
And he's got the odds on him beating this guy. Oh, I want to tell you the guy can't. He's a famous guy. Anyway, so he knows that he's supposed to win the tournament. But I hear him on the phone talking to his girlfriend. Oh, I miss you. His bags are packed. He's telling me he loves her. I'm listening to it. In the locker room, there's some phones that are free that players could use. So he's calling his girlfriend wherever she is in the world. I love you. Yeah, I may see you soon, later. And I'm like,
that's it.
Run, I sprinted. That's the fastest I think I ran that year. I sprinted across the street.
Put money down.
Now, I won $32,000 that weekend. Not in coaching.
Oh, my God.
It was the only thing. Am I allowed to say this? It wasn't illegal. I wasn't under any auspices of can't do or not do. But it comes back to the point. You can read people's body language. Come on. We've been reading people's body language as individuals for as long as we've been on this planet. Every thought we have is being broadcast physically. Oh, wow, look, Jim's choking his brains out. How do you know? He's grabbing his throat. It's pretty obvious, body language. But you can also pick up a negative vibe of emotion, a negative emotion. But you can also pick up that psychic vibe. And that's the one thing I was able to do in my career is pick up the vibe. I knew who was going to win or lose before the match started.
And in sports, I'll take it to baseball. That's my sport. If I'm facing a pitcher or a hitter who, let's say every game, everyone on the field, all 9 guys, wears a shirt, and it either says if they're confident going into that performance or unconfident. That's it. Confident, not confident. High O level, low O level. And I'm playing against guys with all low O levels. I'm going to win. And that'll automatically make me confident because those guys are unconfident.
Because you feel no threat.
Yes.
You feel no pressure because you don't feel them after you. They're not hunting. They're not a predator anymore.
So my low confidence will affect somebody else's. Specifically, we're talking here, we're talking business, but we're really talking in sports. And that is what we're seeing all around us
when
with
I'm
these
confident,
consultations.
my energy flows away from me, and it's palpable. When I'm confident, I'm sending it out. When I'm not confident, your energy can back up like a toilet, and that's terrifying because it goes in one place initially, right into your jaw. So right now, everybody check your jaw. If it's sore, that's negative energy that's backed up on you. You need to release it. Right now, I want to talk about the final word. This show is about the master and how the master is self-disciplined, can concentrate, is optimistic, has high relaxation, and he loves what he does and does what he loves. And that's our score system. We've seen the master embody that score system. Whether they know the score system or not, they are doing it. But here's the final word. What really governs this master, becoming that master? This person has a vision of who he is, where he's going to go, and he's seen it. He's seen himself at the top of the mountain. He's seen himself at the apex of his craft, his industry, his sport, his business. He's seen him there, and he's seen that the footprints are only his. And that vision is so strong, it tucks him in bed at night. Every night he goes to bed that guy, that woman, that person, that champion, and he wakes up that person. Before he even gets out of bed to go to the bathroom, brush his teeth, and get on to his day, he will wake up positive because he went to bed positive. That's a champion, and he does it over and over. So the champion is disciplined with routines. He's confident, he's focused, he's relaxed, and he's loving what he does, but it's all for the vision that tucks him in bed and wakes him up. Look at your life, Zoniacs. Do you have something pulling you out of a ditch? Do you have something that's getting you out of bed when you'd like to put the blinds down and go into fetal position and not talk to anybody? We're in the worst mental health crisis in my lifetime. I don't know what happened 200 years ago, but I've never seen it like this. I'm seeing stress go all the way down to a 4th grade level. Do you worry? Raise your hand. And every kid raises their hand. We walk a gauntlet of negativity on both sides of the road as we're on the road of life. It's everywhere. So what does that mean? Zoniacs, choose a vision that serves you well, something that fires you up and can get you up and tuck you in bed at night. But this creates a pull. And then when you hit a bump in the road, you run your car into the ditch on the road of life, let the vision pull you out of it and circumvent whatever challenges you're going to have. Go around it, go under it, go through it. And sometimes you can shut your eyes and you just made it go away. The road of life, is it easy? No. Getting to the pinnacle of success, is that easy? No. But that's what we do, Ryan. That's what we do, Caleb. I tell everybody, my mom wasn't sure what I did for a living. I don't get it. You talk on the phone, they send you money. What do you tell Alex Rodriguez? Wasn't he the #1 draft choice? Yeah, Mom, I think I'm an insurance policy for some of these guys to ensure they're going to reach their peak. But the bottom line is, all of us can think like a champion. Every single one of us can think like that. We have analytics that right now can ascertain your missing link. In the next week, And by the time you listen, it may be up. You go to ZoneCoach.com, you check our link below every time. We've got a video wall that you can take an assessment to see what is your missing link. And I'm fired up about that. But the bottom line and the last word, have a vision, tuck it under your arm, and walk around with it every day. And if you need it to pull you out of a ditch, then use it to get out of that ditch.
And if you're on Yeshiva or Lehman, good luck. But we'll help you out. If you need help and you did not win that game, we will help you. Give us a call. We're here for you.
Well, the good news is somebody's going to win.
Exactly. Somebody's getting out of the slump today.
I hope it doesn't end in a tie. Wouldn't that be a bummer?
Oh, my goodness.
End in a tie
It's
and a
not a
rain
loss.
delay.
You can't.
Then it's not a loss. Is that what they do? It's a carry? Just carry
I don't
over?
know.
Carry it over.
Could be the never-ending game.
Well, gentlemen, let's have an awesome week. Get up positive, go to sleep positive, and deal with whatever you got to deal with in between. We're here for you. We're coaches. We're teachers. We've had the score system. I've had it over 50 years now. Ryan, you've been involved in the score system 13 years. Caleb, you're approaching that 13-year mark also. And Zoniacs, again, thank you so much. I've had people following me for decades. We love you. We're here for you. And right now, be in the zone, everybody. That is the place to be.